Well, hello, tube. Let's not shake the camera and make everybody seasick. Oh, I'm just making it worse. Today, we're here. Oh, look, there's a ghost. Just kidding. Just my chair. Today, we have Congo by the Michael Crichton. Um, don't have the dust jacket for this, so there's no point in holding this up. This is the 3-pack with Sphere and Eaters of the Dead, which we talked about, I don't know, a little while ago. If you want to go check that out. Michael Crichton playlist down below. And as always, I have an affiliate link down below as well to bookshop.org, where if you go there to buy this book or any other book using my affiliate link, I get a small commission. You get an awesome book and no extra cost to yourself. It's a win-win. It is. It's a win-win. So Congo by Michael Crichton. Michael Crichton, of course, born October 23rd, 1942 in Chicago's, Illinois. The Chicago's, because there's multiple Chicago's. Died November 4th, 2008 in Los Angeles, California. This was originally published in 1980, Knopf Publications. There's a movie, of course, in 1995, directed by Frank Marshall, who, of course, directed the awesome movie Arachnophobia. So you know Congo is good. And then, of course, starring Bruce Campbell, who's in it for about 30 seconds total. But that's all that matters. All that matters. Bruce Campbell's in it. But there's other people, Laura Linney, which I'm not sure who she is, Dylan Walsh, which was in Nip Tuck, I think he was in that TV show. Ernie Hudson was in a ton of things. Substitute movies, awesome. Or was it Substitute 1 he was the principal in? Some other people. One thing, so I've been finding actual like official synopsis, since when I do my synopsis, I just end up just talking about the whole book and then spoiling everything. I'm trying to get away from that. Michael Crichton's website is awesome. It gives you a synopsis, and then he, in his words, I assume it's his words, I don't know. Can't ask him. He's been dead for 15 years. Um, there's like in his words. So I was going to read first the synopsis from michaelcrichton.com and then what he had to say about it. Deep in the African rainforest near the legendary ruins of the lost city of Zini, an expedition of 8 American geologists is mysteriously and brutally killed in a matter of minutes. 10,000 miles away, Karen Ross, the Congo project supervisor, watches a gruesome video transmission of the aftermath. A camp destroyed, tents crushed and torn, equipment scattered in the mud alongside dead bodies, all motionless except for one moving image, a grainy dark, man-shaped blur. In San Francisco, primatologist Peter Elliott works with Amy, a gorilla with an extraordinary vocabulary of 620 signs, the most ever learned by a primate, and she likes to finger paint. But recently, her behavior has been erratic and her drawings match, with stunning accuracy, the brittle pages of a Portuguese print dating back to 1642. I think I butchered that sentence, but we're just going to go with it. A drawing of an ancient lost city, a new expedition along with Amy is sent into the Congo, where they enter a secret world, and the only way out may be through a horrifying death. Which, I mean, if you have a horrifying death in the middle of the Congo, are you really getting out? No. So, I mean, it's not the only way out. You just be stuck there to become food, I guess. I don't know. So this is what Michael Crichton has to say about it, which is I found pretty cool. I had always admired the H. Rider Haggard adventure story, King Solomon's Mines. Never read it. And I wanted to write a similar sort of Victorian adventure set in the 20th century. I was also interested in experimental attempts to teach apes to use language and the implications of the research for animal rights, which in the late 1970s was a very obscure topic. When the book was published, most reviewers found the character of Amy, the sign language using gorilla, too incredible to believe. This despite the fact that I had modeled Amy on a real signing gorilla, Coco the monkey. Wasn't Coco referenced in Seinfeld? Then at Stanford University. I considered Coco to be pretty famous. After all, she had been twice on the cover of National Geographic magazine and once on the cover of the New York Times magazine. Coco had also been interviewed on television, where with quick hand gestures she complained about the bright lights and told the TV interviewer to go away. But apparently, book reviewers had never heard of Coco. To prepare, oh, I just lost it. Oh, I just lost it. To prepare for writing the book, I planned to go to Africa to see gorillas on the slopes of Virunga volcano chain in eastern Congo. But at the time, there was a war between Tanzania and Uganda, and the eastern Congo were much too dangerous to visit. No one would take me there. Now, he mentions uh, in a couple paragraphs here that he mentions this in travels. I completely believe that he was trying to find people to send him into the middle of a war zone to study gorillas. Just the type of person he was. So that doesn't surprise me at all. So I had to find substitutes to experience volcanoes. I went to Stromboli off the coast of Sicily, a volcano which is continuously active. In those days, you could just hike to the rim and watch the display as long as you wanted. For an experience in the rainforest, I went to Taman Negara in the jungles of Malaysia, which I'm no geographist, but I believe that is nowhere near Africa. I never saw gorillas in the wild until 2 years after the book was published. Then I went to Rwanda, climbed the mountain or climbed the real volcanoes and visited the real gorillas. This was a very powerful emotional experience, which I wrote about in the book Travels. So that's the words of Crichton himself. The book is silly, absolutely silly. Just no ifs, ands, or buts, but it's dated. Um, it's silly. The there's really no redeeming factors in reading it. However, it's probably my second favorite Crichton. It's just so much fun. It's like a bad horror movie. You know, sometimes they're just so bad they're good. Um, the movie, which it's been a minute since I watched the movie. I should probably watched it. You know, if I remember correctly, the movie wasn't very similar to the book, and if I remember right, besides Bruce Campbell, the movie was just pretty bad. However, it's Bruce Campbell, so it becomes an A+ in my book. But you know, it's just like one of those things. Like you see this so much, and I should say I see this so much in the Crichton books I've been reading that when you have a book that's based around technology, 40 years later, it's going to be kind of cringy. It just is like the modern technology of the time. That's what he's writing. But he takes these weird scenarios and then adds technology to it. And for the time, it was cutting edge and probably too hard to believe, like sign language in gorillas. But as time goes on, they just get dated um, and just very cringy. But like I said, if you can look past the cringe, it just really is a fun read. It just really is. It's fun. It's short. One of the things that my biggest gripe about Crichton is that, at least in the books I've been reading here recently, I read this like 3 months ago. That's why I'm kind of struggling a little bit more than normal. I'm just that far behind, yes. With the books I've been reading recently, with Jurassic Park, I read Rising Sun. I'm currently reading Disclosure at the time of this recording. He gets way um, like too caught up in all of his twists. Like, I don't mind a good twist at the end to kind of just throw you off of where I thought it was going. However, when it's twist after twist after twist after twist, and it just like keeps bashing you in the face with twists, at a certain point, I just get completely, um, I just turn off the book. Like I don't care anymore. This Congo doesn't have it. It was kind of before he got really full of himself in that aspect. So if that's one of the things that drives you mad about Michael Crichton is that he just doesn't know when to end the book. His books end poorly anyway. They just do. He's terrible at writing endings. But if that's one of the gripes you have about Crichton is that he just doesn't know when just to end it, you're not gonna find that in Congo so much. The one thing I'd say is um if you've read Jurassic Park and you want another like Crichton to read, try Congo if you haven't read Congo, vice versa. If you haven't, or if you've read Congo and want to try another Crichton, Jurassic Park would be a pretty good next step. They're kind of similar in the fact that they use kind of outdated technology as kind of the basis for a unbelievable story, and they both have to do well. One has to do with dinosaurs, and one has to do with gorillas. So you know, but yeah, I think that's it for this one, peeps. Let me know down below. Do you like Congo? Let me know what I got right, what I got wrong. Be nice. Be nice. I've been back for 2 weeks. I've had two comments. One, of course, from a very nice viewer who always says nice things, and the other one was just a dirt bag. So who anymore? I ain't looking at. I'm just gonna block you from the channel. Sorry. Whatever the block feature is, hide from the channel. I don't want to listen to it. So that's it for this one, peeps. I feel like I'm forgetting stuff, but it's 12 minutes and it's bedtime. It's actually past my bedtime. So cheers.